Here are a few ways to elevate a basic blazer without doing any sewing. Let's get started. One easy way to elevate your blazer or jacket without doing any machine sewing is to simply change out the buttons. The most important part of changing out buttons is that you find buttons that are similar in size to the buttons that you want to change out. It don't have to be the same shape. You can totally change out the shape, but it has to be very close in size because it needs to fit through the buttonhole that your jacket has. To change out your buttons, first you need to cut thread, snip the thread that's attaching the button to the blazer. Super easy to do. Just get that thread in between the button and the blazer and you snip. Super easy. Now, to be honest, these are cute buttons. Nice little satin feel. And so they're going to go in my handy dandy button jar so I can use them for another project. All right, so get yourself a needle, get yourself some thread in the same color of your jacket so that it goes invisible practically. And you just need a bit, about the length of your arm. Find that hole, you thread it through, and then you get two ends together, and you tie a knot. Just go over my finger twice, pull the tail through the circle that you created, and voila, you have a knot. Now you're ready to sew. So you already know where the buttons were because you still have like some little fuzz of thread from snip you just made. And so you just sew it on. Most buttons have holes that you can just sew right through. In this case, this button is decorative. The holes have a decorative purpose, and the real way to sew this type of button on is to go through this loop several times. See, right here. But then there are other buttons like this that you would just go in and out of those 4 holes. But in this case, the 4 holes are just decorative because it has a little metal, quote unquote, thread going through them. So in this case, you would use this loop and you just come up from underneath and you'll stop because you have that knot there. That knot is going to stop you from coming all the way through. Come through your loop and go back down in the same location, like so. And you just go in and out several times, at least 4 times. Through the fabric, through the loop, pull it nice and tautly, and then you go back down again. All right, so that's twice. Up through the fabric, go through that loop, pull it tautly, go back down. And one more time for good measure. Going up through the fabric, come under and through that loop, pull nice and tautly, and go back down. Right, so you tie a knot, tie another knot, and snip. Any loose threads, pull them, snip them, being certain that you don't snip that knot. All right, so the first button is on. Another simple way is to add patches. And I know what you're thinking, but I don't know how to sew. But these patches can be added with some fabric glue. You can wash and dry clean things that have been attached with fabric glue. It won't last forever, ever. I would say if you throw it in a wash machine, you got about maybe 6 or 7 washes. So you definitely want to hand stitch even if you can't machine stitch. But if it's something that's going to be like on a blazer, which you're not going to throw in a wash machine anyway, it's going to be dry cleaned, so it would last forever, a very, very long time on something that's not going in a wash machine. You can totally change the look of your blazer without the use of a sewing machine. And that goes for other types of trim too. It doesn't necessarily have to be a patch, but you could take something like this and trim the pockets or put stripes throughout the jacket with just the use of your fabric glue. And you never have to worry about this white glue as it oozes out from the edges because fabric glue dries clear. The glue is still drying, but as you can see, without any sewing machine, we have elevated this blazer. New buttons, some appliques, patches on the sleeve and lapel, and I hand stitched the chain into the pocket. I can do it, you can do it too.